What's going on, goalies? My name is Chris Dudo and I'm the Goalie Gear Snob. And today I'm going to show you guys what's inside of this package right here. Let's open it together. So what's going on, everyone? My name is Chris Dudo and I have a sweet little package here from Warrior that is going to show you a brand new product that is out now. So this product right here is going to be the new Ritual V3i stick, and I want to compare it to that M2i stick that I have sitting right back there. So let's check it out. So yes, I have a nice little package here from Warrior and we're going to take a look at what's inside of it. So let's open it up together and see what we got. So I'm going to put a little cut right here. I'm going to open it up. Get rid of that outer packaging we have, and show you this nice little goalie stick that we have here. So I'm going to cut open this end again right here. I'm gonna peel this out. And what do we have here? This is a brand new stick from Warrior. This is the Ritual V3i stick in a 25-inch with a twist curve. And the I stands for this really cool shaft that we have here. It's a special shaft that came out on the M2i, and that stick right there has a special shaft on it that kind of goes over, kind of gives the goalie a little bit of an advantage when playing the puck overhand. So I'm going to talk about some of the spec differences and talk about some of the other cool features. Then I'm going to compare it to the M2i. But right now, that's just a gorgeous stick. So let's check it out. Before I get started on these sticks, I want to give a huge shout out to Kirk over at Warrior Hockey. I've known Kirk for, almost 8, maybe 10 years now across the goalie industry. Not only do I know him from the goalie industry and my time in retail, but he's just an overall great dude to chat with about life and other things as well too. Over the last little bit, we haven't chatted as much, maybe every few months or so, but Kirk and I, once we pick up the phone, we're great guys, great friends, always love chatting with him. So I want to give him a huge shout out. And I'll give him a huge shout out for explaining a lot of the product details about the M2i stick and even the V3i stick. I was using the first M2i for, I'd say, off and on for about 11 months, 12 months or so. And I was really happy with how that stick performed and the overall durability, and especially the asymmetrical shaft geometry that's inside of the M2i. So when I heard about the V3i stick, I was really excited to check it out. Also saw the colorway on it, thought it looked incredible. So now I want to go over those differences between the M2i and the V3i, and talk about some of the specs I did and why I went with them. So let's take a look. So starting with the M2i stick here, this is Warrior's M series of sticks, which means it actually has a concave kind of design on the back half of the paddle. And this stick is going to be more geared towards your kind of like lower flex point type of style of shooter. So I know a lot of people say that, for goaltenders, it's more about stopping the puck than shooting the puck. And trust me, with my hand injuries, it is very tough to be able to shoot the puck well. But I found with this M series of stick, it's been very easy for me to be able to grab a hold of the top shaft and get a good, hard, crisp pass off. And that's what has been on this M2 stick for a while now. I'll try to add in some product highlights over top of this to really show off this asymmetrical shape. But really the best way to describe it is it's almost like an almond shape, kind of offset, so that when you grab it, especially with a glove, this edge kind of wears well into the heel. And then same thing if you're going underhand, your hand fits on that spot as well. So I've really liked how that M2i stick has held out. This stick itself, it is a 25-inch with a twist curve, and I did untape it, so it's going to look a little dinged up, a little beat up, but I've used it off and on for, like I said, almost a year now. Really like how it came out. I was a little bit nervous at first, but after using this legit with the Dallas Stars for probably the last 2 or 3 weeks, so probably 4 or 5 practices, maybe 6 practices, the amount of shots I've taken off the shaft after missing with my blocker, I mean, sorry, I'm not a real pro, but I'm taking a lot of shots off the top half, just over top of the blocker, especially in this area right here. And I've really liked how this stick performed and held up, and I really think it is due to that ASG kind of shape up there. But that's a quick look at the M2i and that 25 twist. So now I'm going to show off the V3i, then we'll compare. So looking at the V3i stick here, I'm really noticing that the camera is catching a lot more of the gloss, and especially this kind of mirrored, iridescent, chrome kind of shape. I mean, like, love the iridescent gear, love the iridescent colors, and I think this is super unique. But what I wanted to say here is when comparing it to the V3i, you're getting the same minimus carbon, you're getting the same ASG, this special asymmetrical shaft, this shape up here. But the main difference here is that you're not getting this indented shape across the back of the paddle, and you're getting a different kick point. So the V series of sticks have more of that middle kick point, ever so slightly higher up. And it's just something that for differences in goalies of what they really like, that's what this will allow. So if you really want to load up on the puck and really get a good grip on it and send some far passes, you're going to use this here. But if you like more of the quick, kind of like lower passes, I would suggest that M series of stick. But that's just what I want to talk about here. In looking and comparing both of these sticks, like I said, they both have the same minimus carbon style to them. But what I'm noticing here is that there's a lot more gloss, almost an entire gloss texture that is painted across almost all of the stick. You don't get it as much on the shaft, but definitely across the paddle and in that grip area. And you are getting a raised slide grip right here. It's almost like a bunch of tiny little pluses and a little tiny bit of grip tack across here. So it feels pretty comfortable on the hand. Again, this is a 25-inch with a twist curve. That has been my go-to. It's basically the old Bishop curve, if you remember that. So just to directly compare to the M2i, I'm going to hold up both of them now. Try not to drop either of them, but I just want to show off the differences here, kind of show off where the camera is catching it, especially in that color and that design. This is the M, this is the V, so that's what you're getting right here. So I did notice after using this M series of stick that the paddle is getting a little bit more beat up, a little bit dinged up. So I wonder if that gloss coating is going to help that here. But in terms of the weight, it feels almost negligible. These are all very light sticks. The weight feels pretty solid. I'm not noticing that the V is heavier with that gloss. Maybe a hair, but I don't have them entirely taped up right now to make that true comparison. But just in terms of that weight and that feel, pretty spot on. So you are getting a different slide grip right here. You're getting just a little bit of a different shape. It's not quite as raised up as what you're getting on the V. To be honest, after grabbing them right here, I kind of like that V a little bit more. It seems like I'm getting a little bit more texture and grip off of it. As we're on the M2i, it just feels, keep hitting it on stuff, it just feels a little bit like these lines are kind of straight, as with this one, it feels a little bit more like almost like a textile, or maybe like I don't know, I'm trying to think of like some examples, maybe like the toolbox kind of feel, like that texture. That's kind of what this feels like right here. But overall, pretty solid. When it comes to the shape and the mold of the sticks, they're both identical in terms of the curve, the paddle height, and even on the shaft height as well. So I have them both kind of leaning up right here, almost identical heights here as well. I have to tape up this one a little bit more, but I'm really liking the weight and the feel of these sticks so far. So now what I want to do is take them out on the ice, rim a few pucks around and talk about it. I want to see if you guys notice a difference in them as well, and we'll talk about it. So let's check it out.
Oh, too much.
try and hit 20.
All right. That was pretty good. Oh boy.
So a few things have changed since that last cut. It's been 4 months since I filmed that initial review and my initial thoughts, and I have some really exciting news to tell you guys about these Warrior sticks. So you can see the M2i right there leaning behind me, and I will show you the V3i that now comes in 2 pieces. I'm going to show you some cool things about these sticks, and I'm going to tell you guys why I've really liked them and why I'm not even upset that V3i is snapped in half. So let's get right down to it. Yes, this is 4 months after I initially received that V3i. I've had an additional 4 months of skates on the M2i stick. That V3i has been absolutely put through the ringer, and I'm really excited to tell you about the durability. So yes, it is snapped. It sucks. It happened at a Dallas Stars practice. Pretty sure it was Hints that just took a shot, clipped the edge of my blocker, hit the shaft, sent it flying. It happens. I've broken a lot of sticks in the shaft, just above the blocker. It might be something to do with my positioning, but hey, I'm getting pieces of it, so I'll take it. But the stick did break in half after 4 months of use, and that is heavy use. Almost weekly use with the Stars, going to skills practices, skill sessions, guys hitting it. And I'll be honest, even though it broke and snapped in the shaft, if I was using any other stick, it would have absolutely already have shattered months ago. So I'm super happy with the durability here. The M2i that I have right here, there is also a pretty big crack right in the shaft, which is right above where, when I hold it with my hand, just above the blocker right here. It is starting to crack. It is getting a little bit soft. I'm expecting that to break relatively soon, but I'm not entirely mad about that. I'm very happy with how it performed and the durability I've been getting so far. Like I was just talking about the shaft durability, the asymmetrical shaft has been an absolute godsend for me. I've really liked how it felt when I put the glove on top of the shaft. It fits nicely into the heel of the glove. I felt very comfortable playing the puck. It feels very natural, and that shaft durability has been the best I've used. I know holding a broken stick right here that snapped in a shaft might not be the best kind of, visual guide for that, but trust me, this thing has really held up well for me. If I was using any other stick, it would have already snapped months ago. But I'm really happy with how that performed. But talking about the shaft durability, something I just quickly wanted to point out is, yes, I switched over to using Buttendz. Please click the link down below to shop and save with my link. But the Buttendz, I'm using the shorter grip right here. I believe it's the Fusion that I have on here. It's a little bit shorter and it fits really well across the asymmetrical shaft. I put a little bit of tape around the bottom just to hold it down, just something I quickly wanted to note. So I really like this asymmetrical shaft. Fits well in the glove. It fits great with the hands. Pucks come off of it. I don't notice any weird bounces or anything when it hits off the shaft. It just feels like a normal stick that you would be, making a shaft save with. So I really like that. Specifically, I want to talk about the passing between the M2i and the V3i. So the M2i, yes, it does look beat up. I have used this extensively, but there's a Rex hair. But with this stick specifically here, I really like the flex of the M2i. It's a little bit more flexible. It is a little bit of a lower kick than the V3i, which is more of a stiffer kind of mid kick stick. So I really like the performance more on the M2i in terms of making passes. It just felt a little bit more natural to me. The V3i, it felt like I really had to load up and really put a lot behind it. I like the quick passing on the M2i. Speaking about the graphics, I know I mentioned before that the M2i had a lot of gloss on it, and you're going to see a lot of that gloss still here. It still looks pretty nice after that bit of time here. And the M2i with kind of like the flat clear coat, it really started chipping off and coming off. Like this stick is really beat up close, but I really liked how the gloss on the V3i held up a little bit better. Small interesting note about the M2i that once I started peeling up some of the grip tape and replacing it here, the graphics started coming with it. Didn't have that on the V3i, but just something I wanted to point out, that the graphic was really lifting up right off the stick. But so just talking about some of the look and some of the look and pretty much how beat up the sticks are, they still performed extremely well. I do have a lot more chips and dings in both of the paddles. The M2i have a few small cracks running down here as well, but I'm going to keep using it until it completely snaps in half. And I'm really happy with that performance here so far. So basically just looking at the overall style of these sticks, the asymmetrical shaft, I've really liked how it performs. I really think that this is going to be the way of the future. I really like how this performs. It fits so well in the hand. You can make easy passes with it, and I'm just overall so happy that if I was using any other stick and got hit in the shaft, it would have already snapped. Like I would take like 5-6 shots a week in these shafts and they wouldn't snap. So I'm really happy with the overall durability. Really like the lightness, really like playing the puck in them. Like I said, the M2i is just a little bit better, but that's just my preference on those two sticks. But I want to talk a little bit more about the tape, and I want to talk a little bit more about some of the other features of the Warrior sticks here now. So in the initial first half of this video, I did not have the sticks taped up, but I just used my regular Howies wide tape on the blade, 8 strips down, works pretty well for me. I didn't notice any major heel damage or anything like that by keeping the heel untaped, so I had no complaints there. As where on the M2i, I had a little bit more of heel splitting through here, but I think that's because I was using this for coaching, so I was really beating it up a little bit more. But just something I wanted to point out here, with same Howies taped 8 strips up, I like to use the wide tape here as well. Looking at the middle grip, I use Howies Pro grip tape. I do not use the stretch. I use the Pro. It holds up so much better. Using the Pro grip tape, the biggest thing I noticed is that my hands just, they sweat so bad. And any stick that is bare right here, while there is slide grip, it just wasn't doing anything to really kind of keep that sweat off the stick. I really need something to kind of cushion that and soak up some of that sweat. That's why I've used the Pro grip tape here. You can actually see where it started to wear a little bit from my finger on the blocker palm, so that's pretty cool. But I really like this Howies Pro grip tape here. And I'll just show you on the broken part of the stick. So this is the V3i shaft. Yes, I switched to using Buttendz here up top. Again, please click my link down below to shop with some Buttendz. But I really liked how the Buttendz are feeling and performing here. I'll do a small strip of white across the top just because you cannot have black Buttendz in NHL. Pretend like I'm in the show. But so I really like having that here. And the grip was great. I really like how this Buttendz held up. So really like how it fit over this asymmetrical shaft as well. But I want to put over the asymmetrical shaft and talk about it a little bit more. So I'm going to do my best to try to show you guys what this asymmetrical shaft really does. So by holding this stick here, again, pretending like I'm actually going to be making a pass here, basically the asymmetrical shaft fits perfectly into the heel of the glove. So I'm squeezing it right here and kind of holding it in place. And that special shape really fits into the butt of the glove nicely. I mean, it feels really well. It fits naturally there. And that's really what that asymmetrical shaft does. That's the best way to describe it. It just holds so much better there. It's not a larger kind of square that gets stuck in the way. It fits more naturally, so you can get more of the hand closing over top. So I have had major hand surgery to reconstruct and reattach this left fourth tendon. So it is really important to me to have a glove that is well broken in and that I can grip the stick well and take that advantage. And trust me when I say my confidence went up in stick handling with these asymmetrical shafts. So I'm really happy with that. So if you guys are maybe lacking a little bit of that confidence or want something to try to boost some of your stick handling, I really recommend that asymmetrical shaft. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Kirk over at Warrior Goalie for really being able to send me this V3i and even M2i last year. And I'm glad he's really allowing me to put out this durability review, even show a broken stick. I know a lot of people would think that, you know, sticks are subjective, that durability is subjective, but the best way I can describe it is I put these two sticks through the highest level of professional hockey here in the US. I am not the best goalie out there, but I try to get pieces of every single puck. And I'll be honest, these sticks taking a beating, I am so happy with their performance. I really like how they are working. So I really like these Warrior sticks. Kind of sad to see that V3i break. Honestly, when the M2i goes, you know, I'll pour some out for them, but I'm really upset. I'll be really upset when this one breaks as well, but super happy with how they've been performing. So I just want to say that if you want to try and pick out any one of these sticks, please click the link down below. My name is Chris Dudo, and I am the Goalie Gear Snob, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video. I'd really appreciate it if you liked, commented, and subscribed, and also rang that cute little Liberty Bell for some notifications about what I upload to my channel. Please check me out. Some of my other social outlets are going to be linked down below.